Hello, I am Red Lackey, and in my 91 years, I've been through a lot of things, but nothing was as bad as the stock market crash of 1929 in October. This depression was brought on by that stock market crash. It lasted for 15 years. In 1928, Herbert Hoover was running for president, and he made some great promises. He said, if you elect me president, there'll be a car in every garage and a chicken in every pot. Well, he got elected. But you know, I don't know, the people that had a car in the garage couldn't get it out because they couldn't afford a gallon of gas. It cost 18 cents. Or if the motor's tuned up real good, it'd get a gallon of kerosene for 12 cents. In 1933, I borrowed 2 suitcases from my brother, and I started out to Appalachian State Teachers College at Boone, North Carolina. I had $33 in my pocket, but I couldn't afford a bus, so I started thumbing my way. I caught a ride, it was 60 miles. I caught a ride for 30 miles of it, 3 different rides. And I walked the other 30 miles into the college there. I immediately went over to the administration building and saw the business manager, and then told him I had to have a job to go to college. I found out at that time there that you could go to college if you pinched your pennies for about $250 for each school year. The dormitory rooms was $32 a year, and the meals was $33 for 3 months. Now, that figures out at about 12 cents a meal. At 12 cents a meal, you don't get much chicken, I can tell you that for sure. In 1935, January, on a Sunday, we had a snowstorm that was 2 feet deep, and the temperature was below zero. We had a bookstore there at the college where the boys and girls dated on Sunday afternoon. That's the only kind of time it took a date from 2 to 4. And it accommodated about 30 couples and then a few people for standing around. So the bookstore was full of people, and everybody had to go there, had to go by the library, which had a couple of big fir trees in front of it. And they then, there was a Rhode Island red chicken on that fir tree. It couldn't, it was freezing to death, couldn't go get it go to where it lived, and because of that deep snow. And so everybody was talking about that chicken and how they were going to get that chicken that night. And I even called it the chicken Herbert Hoover. I talked to my suite mates, and I told them, I said, look, there's no way we can get any chicken tonight if we wait till dark. I said, we've got to get that chicken now. And I sent one of them by the dining hall and get a loaf of bread, and sent the other 2 up there to get this coffee pot sitting on my desk full of water boiling when I get there. And so then I waited for them time to get that done, and then I opened that door and I took out running that half a mile towards the dormitory, and I detoured around by that fir tree and grabbed that chicken, stuck it in my jacket and zipped it up and kept going. I got about halfway now. I had telephone boots on, and it wasn't too easy to run real fast, but I was doing pretty good, and I saw them about halfway hollering at me, and I said, looked around. There was about 20 guys chasing me. Well, instead of going up the steps and then snow had been cleaned up the dormitories that's way up on the hill up there, I took a cut through the field there and made a new path through that snowstorm right on up there to my room and locked the door. And I got that chicken out, and I looked him in the eye and I said, look, now, Herbert, you ain't gonna like this. I took that chicken out, wrung his head like that there, and killed it, and then I dipped it down into that coffee pot, and let it stay about 2 minutes, and then took it out and handed it to one of the guys and hold his feet up, and I showed him how to get the feathers off there real fast like. And then I dressed it out. And after I dressed it out, I went over to the bathroom and cut the chicken's head off and flushed it down the commode and let it bleed into there. And then dumped it down into that pot. And got it just ready to go in there and be cooked. The recipe for Chicken Ala Commode is 1 chicken rescued from the snow and a gallon coffee pot and a couple of teaspoonfuls of salt and a board that you can put in the bottom and a commode. And you put the board down in the commode and set the coffee pot down on that and then close the lid down and let it boil for about 30 minutes. Now, you've got to be careful whenever you're cooking and not flush the commode, because if you do, it might change the taste of the chicken just a little bit. But so we've got to be careful when you do that. But now it's been cooking now. Boy, it smells good. I tell you, it's been cooking about 30 minutes, and it's Chicken Ala Commode. And it is really good. I recommend it to you.
Well, I just can't stand.
Whenever the baseball coach saw me running up that hill with my boots on there as fast as I ran, he told me, he says, you know, as fast as you could run, if you got a hit, you could probably steal second and third base. And I said, well, I can hit the ball. He said, well, when it comes spring, we'll find out. And so I did hit the ball. I led the hitting for Appalachian for 4 years in a row. Now, whenever you go up to visit at Appalachian, if you want to see a baseball game, you go up there to the field, and there'll be a great big sign there at the field as you're going in. It says, BJ Lackey Field. Enjoy the game, and go ahead, and while you're at it, enjoy the Chicken Ala Commode. I thank you.